Hey everybody, it's GoggleCandy, and working down the line, we've gone from A, B, we're starting on C. That means we're starting with Cammy. Cammy has a bit of a weird, convoluted backstory, but suffice to say, she's brainwashed by Bison, breaks out of the brainwash by Bison, and then she doesn't like Bison. She's a British special agent. I think the British part is a little bit overused at times. It just feels like she is that character. She's the British one. So aside from just being a kick-ass female, that's really all her backstory really pertains to. You know, she's undercover cop, special agent forces, that whole shtick. Pretty much a third of the characters tend to be in some sort of special force at some point. I don't know. I might be completely off with that, but sometimes it just feels like that. So we'll look at Cammy, and there's an aspect of Cammy that I do and don't like. She has a lot of tools. You can be grabbed out of the air by her, and you can also be swept off your feet. She can do her own little shoryuken, and she can also put pressure on you with a kind of reverse shoryuken. That's good, and that's also bad. Lazy players will just use the two moves, and I don't even have to say the two moves, because you guys already know what two moves. Spiral Arrow and Cannon Spike. That's all they use, because that's all they need to use. Yeah, they'll throw out a kick and a punch now and then, but that's all the lazy player uses. Now, Spiral Arrow isn't really that intimidating, like it's fast and it goes across the screen and all that fun stuff. Cannon Spike has one of the weirdest hitboxes in the game. If you've played against a lot of Cammys, I think you'll know what I mean. Most Shoryukens, once you get up to that peak, it won't hit you. Why? Because he stopped moving. The punch does not do any damage if it's standing still. Cammy, once it's reached its peak, if she's still in that pose of kind of a Shoryuken kick thing, you will still get hit if you jump into it. I'm really not sure how to put it. That's a lie. I know exactly how to put it. If you jump up, this magical vagina beam will shoot out and hit you in the face because you were too stupid not to do it. That's the best way I can really think to put it. I mean, you jump up and you shouldn't get hit, but you get hit. And you know where you get hit, and it just seems awkward and weird, but still funny. I've been killed by that a couple times, and while I'm annoyed and angry, I can't help but laugh because it's so freaking silly. That all aside, what else does she have? Well, she has this turning around punch that gets around projectiles, but that'll be pretty much obsolete once her new Spiral Arrow move comes into play, because that'll go right under projectiles, which is really what Spiral Arrow was supposed to do in the first place. It wasn't really a rush down move, more of a I'll get around the projectiles and I'll kick them. It's a good start. She also has this flip that can land in many different ways, much like a lot of characters have that sort of flip. Like Akuma's flip, it can end in several different ways. Gouken has a similar thing. Cammy is no different. She can go into a slide kick, or she can go into a grab. She can grab you out of the air, and that stuff just hits you out of nowhere. That's pretty cool. The coolest move she has, in my opinion, though, is that kind of reverse shoryuken, her cannon strike. If you got someone who really knows how to pressure with Cammy, she'll hit you with 2 or 3 of those, sometimes EX, sometimes not, just to put pressure on you, combo into a grab, combo into anything. But that thing can hurt like hell if your opponent knows exactly how to use it. So, let's look at her Ultra and her Super. Her Super and Ultra, of course, like many characters, are pretty much the same. Her Ultra is basically this spiral arrow that if it connects, goes into this long sort of cinematic attack, which does a good, I want to say an average amount of damage for an Ultra. Her new Ultra is one of those new weird ones. It's a counter Ultra, and I've been watching videos of how it hits and how it doesn't hit, and it's really hard to tell when you're supposed to use it. There's a weird time frame where you can actually counter and hit the Ultra, but sometimes it's just too weird to really gauge correctly, and I don't think anyone's truly going to use it. So, where does that leave me with Cammy? Well, there's way too many fanboys and fangirls out there of Cammy to say anything bad about her, because I would get hit a lot. Now, playing with her, I know there's a lot more tools that she could use that I myself am not putting into proper use. I've seen good friggin' Cammys used, and they're just impressive. They hurt, they damage, and it's pretty straightforward. So, what exactly am I going to rate her at? She's not really a 3.5, she just feels a little higher than that. But the weird hitbox of her cannon spike just really still puts me off enough that I really don't want to give her anything too great. so it's probably gonna be a 4 out of 5. That's all I have to say on Cammy. Join me next time when I review another Street Fighter character. Yes.